So with most SAT problems, they give you two attack points. You could attack this part, the sine of x equals 4 over 5, or if you're more comfortable with the cosine and the sine identities, you could attack that part of the problem. But I like these triangles because it's easier to remember geometry than it is trig. So we know that a right triangle, and if this is x, the sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. And it says that the opposite is 4 and the hypotenuse is 5. And we're all remember our 3, 4, 5 from the Pythagorean theorem that 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. And then we don't even need that actually, but now they want to know the cosine of 90 minus x. And if this is x, and we know that's 90, then this has to be 90 minus x. So then the cosine of that angle is the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And the adjacent for this angle would be the one right next to it, would be 4 over 5. So we're done. 4 over 5 is 0.8. But if those of you prefer the graph of the cosine and the sine, here is the cosine, and then the graph of the sine is looking like that. And then the cosine of 90 minus x is the same as the sine of x. So we know it's 4/5. And for those of you that forget why this is true, well, let's just plug in a number. That's another very good technique on the SAT if you get stuck. Just plug in a really easy number. Let's make x 0. The cos of 90 minus 0 is the cos of 90. And then if you can remember that a 90-degree angle, the cosine is 0. So we know that instead of being up here at 1 as it normally is, it gets shifted down to 0. So then that would be a quick reference for you to remember that this cosine of 90 minus x means it just got shifted over into the sine. So we know that cos of 90x equals the sine of x, and how we figured that out was just plugging in easy numbers like 0. And once again, this 3, 4, 5 triangle was much faster. And as always, we're looking for ways to save time on the SAT. So when you get a choice between a more simple expression, like the sine is 4 over 5, compared with a phase angle, trigonometry type of equation, it would be much better in terms of saving time to go for the simpler solution.